In 2172, the world governments ran out of money, bodies, and people who gave a damn. Giant corporations rose to take their place and restore order while extracting maximum value from the masses. Most of humanity live in corporate arcologies, biodomes, gated burbclaves, and towering fabricated half-stacks. The rest scrabble for survival in what's left of the burning, cursed Badlands. This is the Sprawl, a cyberpunk role-playing game set in our dark dystopian future, where a few exceptional individuals solve problems one cred at a time. Music and sound effects by Dark Raven Games, White Bat Audio, and Plate Mail Games. This production features real, uncensored gaming and mature, potentially disturbing content. Proceed at your own discretion. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. This is the Sprawl. I'll be your GM today. We have 4 excellent players, some of them new to gaming, some of them less than you want to put in. Anyone think you want people to know?
Nothing in particular.
Check. Doing the Mystery Man routine. Fair enough. Let's go with the only person who came in costume for today. Phil, you want to mostly blind gamer? You want to introduce Glass?
Yep, absolutely. I'm mostly blind gamer. Phil, find me on Twitter at blindmostly and other places on the internet complaining about accessibility and happily talking about TTRPGs and video games. I'm playing Glass, a hard-boiled noir-style reporter who wears a fedora and a double-breasted coat, which I am wearing, but don't have what we all will pretend is neon highlights because it's also cyberpunk. Also the thick-rimmed glasses. Yeah, and I hope to get to some sleuthing over the next few sessions.
Well, there shall be plenty of opportunity for that. Glass is going to be our reporter, and in the Sprawl, reporting is a much more hands-on job than one might think. A good camera is better than body armor, provided you have a live stream, and no one wants to be caught on live stream doing things they shouldn't or get called on later. Let's move on to Amethyst, who I will repeatedly probably call Sapphire during this game because I have poor word association. Danny, you want to bring yourself in?
Sure. I'm Danny Marie AUC. You guys can find me on all the social medias, including Twitch, where I stream games. This is not my first tabletop RPG, but I'm still pretty new, and I'm really excited. And also, Amethyst is she's a Southern Belle with a checkered past, and she's a baddie.
Yeah? Amethyst is our resident fixer, the people who talks to people, puts people and resources together, solves problems, has several games going, little businesses she runs in the background, and will be a key point in providing resources to this little adventuring crew. And last but certainly not least, let's bring in Slip, otherwise known as Babylon Hillbilly. Oddly appropriate, our driver for today's session. Go ahead, sir.
What is going on? How is everybody? I'm Zach, Babylon Hillbilly. I am not on social media or any of the other places. So this is my first foray into being a Twitch star, but I have played a lot of tabletop games. And today I'm breaking in my new Braille gaming dice that I got. So let's hope they're lucky for Slip, and let's hope he doesn't run you guys into any trees.
mean, you're in the driver's seat, so it's you first, I think. That would be bad. All right, so we have our 4 basic characters. We'll be running the Sprawl today. This is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. If anyone's unfamiliar with that, it stems from games like Dungeon World and Apocalypse World. And there are a lot of derivatives. You can look them up. The basic engine is 2d6. You add your attribute. A 6 or lower is a failure. A 7 to 9 is a success with consequences. That means you get most or everything you want, but there might be a drawback or a qualification associated with it. And 10 plus is typically unqualified success. Massive success. So, to get things started off, let's, in order to establish the character's bona fides and to make sure everybody knows what they're doing, we're going to do a quick round robin. Each of you is going to describe a separate mini episode or session in a couple of lines that you that you're using and represent your characters, and the rest of you will then decide whether or not you were part of that adventure or on screen for a little bit. They were the star. You might have been the supporting character that showed up as a cameo, and how that played out. And for those people, you will write in +1 link with that person. In other words, you are, instead of 2 or 3 degrees of separation away, you are 0 degrees of separation away. You know them. You've known them from at least one prior adventure. So let's start with Amethyst. You can hear the pause as I try not to say the word sapphire initially. Someone, the Southern Belle fixer, with a curious and hidden backstory. What's your moment in the spotlight?
Oh yeah, I'll do this in character. So, that makes me so nervous. A few months ago, I was contacted by one of my workers off the books. She had this problem with a man who was stalking her, and I'm talking in the meat world and in the Matrix. Okay, so I recruited some of my friends here, and well, let's just say he won't be bothering anybody anymore.
Anymore?
Anymore. Yes, baby, that's it.
Gotcha. All right, so Amethyst has gone out and helped one of her employees, in air quotes, and to deal with a potentially difficult customer. You can see this as a single TV episode in which she had to track the person down, find the problem, develop a way to deal with them, and then wipe the books and the evidence clean. Any of the rest of you take part in this little adventure? Or assist? Or oppose her?
So,
All my friends have abandoned me.
They're just trying to figure out whether they want to admit to it on screen is what it is. This is how you guys are going to figure out, this is how we're going to figure out how each one of you knows each other, by the way. So each one of you should be picking at least one other person or more that you have adventures with. And when you roll to assist or oppose another player, we'll be using the modifiers developed in this session to do that. And you'll add to them as you play more games. You'll have the option of picking +1 or more going forward to put this in perspective.
So from what we talked about ahead of the session, Glass and Amethyst work for the same company. So I figure if you think the corporation would be interested in what you're doing, Glass might have helped. If you think they would not be interested in it for some reason, he might have opposed you. So I suggest he might have been involved, and I'm curious.
Is it possible that maybe Amethyst reached out to Glass as an investigator to build some backstory on this person?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That sounds like a definite possibility, yeah.
There you go. All right. So in this case, if that is that's how it went, then Glass would mark +1 link with Amethyst.
Will do.
That being said, why don't we have Glass do his moment in the spotlight as well?
All right. Let me just type that up. +1.
Yep.
And yeah. So yeah, Glass, the reporter. As far as his last job, you guys might have heard something about a certain corporation's reality show being fake. Well, it wasn't. But more importantly, they had me pick up some dirt on the naysayers, on their opposition who suggested these blatant lies. That was complicated, but whether or not what I picked up is true or false matters less than whether or not it got them to back down, and it got them to back down, and I got paid for it. So, in my book, it was a good job.
Glass, the hard-boiled detective/reporter. Someone said that he was putting up some false stories, some fabricated material. Turned out they weren't. He wasn't. Had to expose the truth by exposing his accusers. Anyone take part in this little adventure? Seamus, this is probably a good thing for you to... You like digging into the darkness where people are hiding.
Yeah. Seamus might have been a part of digging up a secret or two.
Yeah? Because reporter's good on his feet. He's got some good stuff, but he's not a dedicated hacker. He's certainly not a cowboy.
And yep. So yeah, I guess he could. Sure.
All right. So mark +1 links with Glass, the reporter. So that being said, let's go on to Slip, our driver, the personal Hellboy and bane of the existence for the Pope Patrol, the local community security / defensive military asset / religious enforcers for hire, who he's enjoyed chasing as a kid and probably still does as a private hobby occasionally. At this point, what's your story? What's the moment that looms large in your memory that everyone else might have been taking part in?
There was this kid, sweet kid, 14, 15, knew the dad, right? And so she got mixed up, and it wasn't her fault, wrong move here, wrong move there. She knew some of these corporate guys. Well, they said they were corporate guys. And told her they were going to make her a child star. Sim sense. Well, yeah, the dad got much too fond of this arrangement, so I helped him disappear. Needed papers. Needed a getaway. That's what I do.
Okay, so you found a kid in the bad life, got them a way out, got them out of the scene, as it were.
Heads might have got cracked.
Yeah. How did Lizzie play into this?
She was how we got away.
Yeah. Do you want to describe Lizzie? It's kind of your signature move.
Lizzie's my baby. Lizzie's the only woman I've ever trusted. She's never let me down. She was requisitioned, we'll say, from the Pope Patrol, and she used to be in service to those goons, but now she's on the side of the angels with me. souped up, racing stripes. Maybe she's even got a machine gun in the headlights.
Gun ports everywhere. Check. So it used to be an old Pope Patrol pursuit vehicle, an interceptor.
Pope Patrol interceptor.
Took out all the body armor, upgraded all the internals, took off all the mufflers and silencer equipment. Now she's loud and proud and fast and aggressive.
Very, very fast. The fastest.
The one thing putting the lie to the to that TV show that says the Pope Patrol always convicts.
Not me.
Only if they can catch them.
Maybe one day. Hadn't happened yet.
Run to that next horizon. All right, Fast and Furious. Anyone who took part in this little adventure?
I'd say Amethyst does like helping out people, especially young people who had been taken advantage of, since that's may or may not be part of her past. So I mean, maybe she.
Class, isn't that kind of part of your deal too?
Oh.
Yeah. The threat situation, if you will.
Okay, fair enough.
Awesome. Love it.
All right, so each of you would mark +1 links with Slip, the driver, and Lizzie, his most exquisite ride. Fast-moving sports car in the vein of Dodge Viper, Knight Rider, any of the things you can think of in this vein. If everyone's seen Street Hawk or Airwolf, this thing isn't just a car. It's a signature piece of personalized equipment which defines speed, aggression, loud, and in your face. And is probably one of the singularly top targets for most of the police and burbclave enforcement groups out there for this general region. Let's go over to Seamus, alias Glitch Foo on the Matrix. What is one of the big things you're known for, and that other people might have taken part in?
So when Seamus was a young lad, he liked to kind of poke around on the net for secrets and expose them for exposure's sake. And one time he stumbled upon Senator John Kelly embezzling money from his campaign finance, and he exposed that, and it became quite a bigger deal than he expected it to become. He was never in it for the politics. He just, it was a secret, and he just was for the sake of it, just because he doesn't really.
Truth will out.
Yeah.
The important part isn't necessarily that anyone benefits from it. The point is that no one can hide.
Exactly. Yeah. No one hides people.
So, who might have helped out with this little adventure?
Well,
expose, as it were.
Glass isn't in it for the politics. He's also barely in it for the truth. But
fair enough.
It sounds like if that's going to cause problems for people. For the right kind of people, which is to say the wrong kind of people, he'd be all over that.
Alrighty. So mark +1 links with Seamus, alias Glitch Foo. And I think that's all 4 of our stars today. We are going to be doing our best to tell a movie story. Depending on the dice rolls and the characters go, this may end up being a triumphant resolution, or it might be a tragedy. We will see. In today's episode, titled Holographic Happy Meal, as in all episodes of the Sprawl, a crew of intrepid professionals, operators, investigators, combat mercenaries, and freelancers have been recruited together to try and solve a problem and get paid, because at some point you got to pay the bills. The protection, put gas in the tank, bullets in the chamber. You got to put new clothes on the shell. Everyone has their own reason for doing what they have to do. But everyone who's in this adventure is motivated because they're not, while they may be backed, they're not owned by anyone particularly. And that means they've got to pay their own bills and do their own thing. So there is a move for this, and every adventure starts with someone getting the job, the thing you're paid to do. That is going to be rolled with plus links. It's part of the basic move set. And as part of this, just as a general disclosure to the audience, the way this will work is we're going to roll in advance. We're going to see what the result of the initiating move is, and I'm going to narrate kind of what happens based on people's choices. And other things may or may not follow from that, depending. So get the job is the first thing we're going to be looking at. But before we go there, a couple of you actually, have before game moves that you can use to establish hold to accomplish things. And I believe that's my computer's yelling at me. So I believe that is Amethyst and Glass have moves that we roll before game. Amethyst, you have a couple of jobs, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them is pimping, and the other one is you need to roll for these. Let's see here. Let's get out of this section, and I'll pull it up, and we'll go over them with you.
Yeah, pimping and brokering deals.
I
don't know if that's what you mean.
As an established fixer, as I said, everyone has to pay the bills, and part of the way you do that is by picking up influence, generating money, and preferably both at the same time. So, let's pick up Amethyst's character here on my screen. Do you want to describe yourself, Amethyst? Just set the scene.
Amethyst is a fairly tone-fit woman with feminine curves. She's kind of above average height, but she's cool and observing. She is fairly attractive with an easy smile. She likes to put people at ease before she manipulates them. Her wear is comfort meets designer, so she'll do like some dresses and pantsuits, but she has an armored trench coat that is like business style trench coat that goes over that. And I kind of designed her after me, so she has white hair, some hidden decorations and scars from her past, but she kind of keeps that covered up because she likes to come off very natural and professional.
All right. So you have two jobs here associated with Fixer. These are the things that you're currently focusing on for your money stream. That might change in the future, but for today, that's what you're rolling against. And what I show here is this is part of what's called hustling. You have people who work for you in various ways. Pick two jobs from the list below. They are the ones we've talked about, pimping and brokering connections. And roll plus edge. So 2d6 and then add edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also happy to do it using a speaker I have here in front of me, if you would prefer, or if you have dice or want to type it into the chat, whatever you're most convenient.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do the chat.
Go for it.
2d6 got me a 6 and a 2, and I believe I'm +1 to edge.
That's a 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, +2 to edge. No, that's a 1. Sorry. Yeah. So 9.
9. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see. 7 to 9. One of them is a disaster, and you profit from the rest. So, which one is a disaster? The pimping or the brokering? You're
Maybe
choosing whether you're going to get intel or credit, and you're also choosing which one I'm going to get to screw with.
Let's say brokering deals is a failure.
Okay. All right, so you gain 1 intel. The group has +1 intel token, if one of you would like to keep track of that. We get to reveal that intel and gear tokens later on in critical moments. essentially, you guys prepared well for this mission. I don't need to know how. Just when you need something, you can reveal intel as information you got. You'll tell me then what you did in the upcoming preparation to justify it. So, unfortunately, while you were brokering deals, the deal that you arranged went wrong. Turns out that a couple people from Time Ruger, one of the ordnance and ammunition companies, that a local group from the Renegade group wanted to buy from in order to outfit their local group of street thugs, went bad, and both parties are mad at you now. It turns out that both people were dealing in bad faith, and because you were represented as a good faith person, both sides are pretending that the other side was lied to by you, and therefore you're at fault. This is not great for you. It kind of hits your reputation for getting things done. But more importantly, there are people on the lookout for you from both of these groups, and that may show up later on in our adventures. So, in the meantime, Mark 1 intel. Let's go to, I believe, Glass has a move here.
That is correct. I have nose for the story, I believe it's called, which would be my 2d6 plus edge, which is 2. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that. I'm just going to show the camera. By the way, I have these fancy new tactile dice. Find a link to them on my Twitter. And that's 5. 8
and
plus 2, 10.
10.
Wow.
All right.
10
roll. Plus, gain 3 hold. So hold is a basic value that you, a resource, consider it points. You have 3 points to spend during the adventure based on this. And they are, you can spend them to ask one question from the research list, which is one of the questions from the moves from the basic move list. Take +1 forward when monstering. That's +1 when you're walking into people's business and getting up and personal with them to try and catch them on the spot. It's as much guerrilla reporting as anything else. Find a piece of evidence that links us to a current story. Basically, this is a lot like having intel. You can spend a point to gain a piece of information that will link something to the current narrative and give you information that you didn't think would be relevant. And that is what you've got. So I will try and prompt you for that, but please keep it in mind going in forward. As well, I may be omnipotent, I am not always omniscient as much as I would like to be. Those are our 2 moves. Would you like to describe yourself, Glass, for the camera?
Yeah. Again, I am wearing what Glass wears, which is a double-breasted coat, a fedora, and thick-rimmed glasses. Glass looks outdated overall. He's a bit older. Looks like he's seen some things. He looks sad most of the time, and
got that injector for when things go bad.
Yeah, that might come around.
Maybe.
You might see that.
We'll see how much stress we get into.
A small device he carries with him, and if you're rude enough to ask him what that's about, he'll say it's just for concentration.
Okay.
But maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Fair enough. Let's see, Seamus, would you like to describe yourself, your character?
Sure. Seamus is kind of a short, wiry, youngish, probably early 20s. He's got like spiked hair, and it's kind of like it's got a little genetic engineering in it, like minor genetic engineering that turns it an electric blue that doesn't tend to exist in nature. all over his body are kind of patches of synthetic skin, as like, you know, he was in a transhumanist gang. You know, he was slowly replacing pieces of himself with as much synthetic stuff as he could as he had, you know, opportunities, and didn't always go so well because, you know, street doctors and everything, so it just looks patchy and
Got it. All right, so we've got the backline hacker who's going to be digging into the matrix, the communally held illusion or delusion, which identifies the virtual world. People like Glitch Foo don't just log in using a keyboard or a virtual network system. They literally jump in and attach their vital nervous systems into the system through hookups, and hack and navigate at the speed of thought, at the risk of the net acting physically upon them at the speed of cyberspace as well. It's a delusion of grand proportion. Which is why we're going to go on to the next scene here. So now we're going on to get the job, what I had mentioned before. This is rolled with Edge. So whoever would like to roll for this, I do believe out of your current group, the person with the best number is Glass at +2. That being said, there's nothing wrong with taking someone who has a lesser number if you think they're going to be better in a social situation. Or if you'd prefer them to take the role.
My dice are hot, apparently, but I'll let anybody else take their shot.
not really Seamus's thing, talking to people and getting jobs, so...
I say that would be my thing, but I think you know, we can let Glass roll this one.
Yeah, I got a +1, but let Glass do it.
Yep.
Glass is the man. Aura speaks
we'll
volumes.
See. We'll see. That is a 7 + 2, 9.
9. All right.
Almost there.
So, this is how we're going to start it off. 10 plus, choose 3 from the list below. 7, 9, choose 1 from the list below. All right, so you're basically going to be offered a job, and you get to pick which one of these is true. I get to pick whether the rest are true or not, and whether what you're being told is actually valid. The employer provides useful information plus intel. I believe that'd be your second intel for this mission. The employer provides useful assets plus gear. In other words, you can pull up a gear token and have a piece of equipment when you need it. The job pays well. You get extra money. The meeting doesn't attract attention. Nobody directly notices that you guys are meeting. The employer's identifier. You know who you're working for. Pick one. You can do this collectively as a group. I do it.
I like the idea of gear. I don't know about you guys.
I was kind of thinking that too. That did kind of sound good.
Yeah,
Sounds
either
good to me.
gear or the identity, I would say, would probably be my choice.
Yeah,
I have no
I'm
objection
good with
Gear,
those
either
two.
gear or anonymity would be Seamus.
What I'm hearing is gear.
Yeah, as a consensus.
Know who you're working for, or nobody notices that you're getting into the meeting. Votes. The general vote seems to be for gear as the default option here.
I'm good with gear.
Gear.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Nice.
Flip says
Okay.
gear.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's move to the next part of our little adventure, where you guys get the job. All right. So, as you guys are moving in, the pickup site has been organized by Amethyst through her contacts. Someone needed a mission fulfilled, and you guys need money. And this is supposedly a minimal risk. By minimal, I mean they wouldn't be paying for someone if it was 0 risk. But for a competent set of people, this shouldn't pose too much of a challenge. Let's bring the volume up just a little bit. They offer to meet you in a private section of the Nova Bar, a part of the Sprawl that's specifically designed for people like you to meet, and they have a section for dancing. They have a section for clubbing. They have a section for eating, or in your case, they have separated tables in which people can meet where there's enough background noise where it's in public, but also it's private enough that with the proper security measures, you can have a relatively clandestine meeting. Who's going with Glass, or going to be there for security or help, or do any? Are you guys doing anything, or is he running this one solo?
Slip will go.
Slip will go?
Yeah.
Amethyst is there too.
Okay. You guys going in? Are you standing outside to watch? What are you guys doing?
I think Slip
Amethyst
is
would go
gonna.
in.
Oh, sorry, Amethyst, go for it.
Oh, I would go in. Amethyst would go in. Go ahead.
Amethyst going in? What about you, Slip?
I think Slip is gonna have a drink and kind of watch the crowd and kind of stand guard at a distance and see if this guy brought in any goons or security, or if there's any kind of foul play going on, and kind of just scope it out.
Slip staying off to the side, and Amethyst is going with Glass, so that you're going to the table with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So let's narrate what happens here, and then we'll roll a couple of follow-up rolls as needed. Both of you walk to the location site. It's a table that's set off to the side in the corner, as all good meeting tables are. You can hear the robots and drones delivering orders and taking orders, as well as some of the human people which are requested for certain other jobs. The meeting is on a perfectly glossy matte black piece of synth plastic. The table rises like a monolith from the floor, and on its surface you can see 3 security drones. As you come forward, they zip out and hover in forming an equilateral triangle, and start broadcasting counter sonar and electromagnetic pulses in order to foil any type of observation or listening devices. A central device pushes out some of the basically an industrial fog type projector, which creates a zone in the center that's clear and obscures the visual area around where you'll be sitting. It's essentially a portable wall screen that obscures visual sight lines. And as you walk up, a virtual presence device on one side of the table projects a hologram, or in this case, a holograph of an individual. It flares in smoky and pixelated light. It's neither male nor female. The bulge of a breast flows into an Adam's apple at a throat, flows down to form a bulging bicep, and then back down, occasionally exposing the flare of a hip and other tantalizing pieces, suggesting much but revealing nothing. It is as impressive now for any of you who have technical skill, because presenting this in such a way that it's both detailed and also obscured at the same time requires a great deal of resources and really isn't representative of a throwaway type of mission. There are seats available they're marked for 4, but each of you has the option of sitting down. Anything you want to do here before we move on?
Entering the building, Glass, as is good custom, removes his hat, and when he gets to the table, places it down on the table. He looks at the hologram and says, "Nice to finally meet you in the flesh."
Your joke is duly noted and acknowledged. Do you have the passphrase?
And you would, in this case, Amethyst, from the meeting authorization?
I do have the passphrase. Amethyst would sit down and absolutely look like she was at home here. Like, this is her facade.
You can also try and talk in the first person here. Amethyst is you, and you are Amethyst for our purposes today. Yeah. So what does what do you do, Amethyst?
Well, like I said, I sit down and looking as comfortable as possible, because like I said, that's the facade. That's
all right.
She's here, she's completely in control. So I'm sitting down at the table, put my clutch there, and I give him the passcode, whatever it is.
Excellent. It is good to hear that security has been observed. I have a mission for you. It pays well. We also have some equipment which you may need. The details are on this micro stick, and passes over what looks almost like an old Halon style briefcase. It's maxed. It's been chromed and aluminum brushed, and has a code on the top that will unlock. Your fingerprints and other biodata from the acceptance have been keyed. If anyone else tries to open it, it will self-destruct. You will voluntarily sever the mission, and you will be classified as a deniable asset. During this particular mission, you and your people are not required to be stealthy. However, if you are discovered or identified, your relationship with this particular employment option will be denied, and there will be no rescue or backup. Is that clear?
We would
Oh
expect
yeah, that's good.
nothing less or more.
Excellent. Delivery of the product is required for payment. There are bonus options within the mission description which I will expect you to review at a later date. Mission details and non-critical data will self-destruct 1 hour after the briefcase is opened. I suggest you download and prepare the information and memorize what you need. Any questions? I will take your
No.
silence as a no. And the hologram zips back in, the same sound as the lightsaber being drawn back, and sucks itself back in. The fog bank dissipates, and you're left sitting at an empty table as small thermite charges burn and frag the stealth drones that have been around you, obviously erasing any data. Small clouds of smoke and the scent of burned plastic rise into the air. Hey, Slip, you're watching for trouble? Slip? Slip? Am I live here? Anyone hear me?
I can
We hear you.
Okay. Slip, you're watching for trouble, right?
Maybe he gave us the slip.
Babylon, you out there? If so, you're muted.
I would not say that I have the best eyes around, but it seems like he's frozen
all good.
on the camera.
I just wanted to give him a chance to shine for a
Oh,
second,
okay.
but he's not.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello,
we
there
hear
he
you.
is.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Slip.
So, I've been here the whole time. I had no idea that I was frozen.
Network issues, I assume, right?
I was talking into the air, as I sometimes do. So,
Likewise.
I'm kind of standing at the junction of the meeting room and
Okay.
kind of where the dancing and the clubbing is, and
Fair
I
enough.
flag a passing server and grab a drink off a tray and kind of like
Okay.
flip a credit coin onto the tray and just keep on walking. And I'm kind of just casually observing, and I'm just kind of scoping the scene and seeing
Fair
if
enough.
anything looks amiss.
Yeah, credit is a combination of money and reputation and resources. It's more an abstract thing. We assume that you have the resources to pick up a drink. That you don't have to count it off your totals. What I'm saying.
Awesome.
But fair enough. You're looking for trouble. Give me. You'll need to roll assess, which is a basic move, and that is plus edge.
Okay, so I've got a 2 and a 4, plus my edge of 1, so that's going to give me a grand total of 7.
All right, 7 is a qualified success. You gain 1 hold. So you're looking around. I'm going to get in the ensuing action. I'm going to you have the option of asking a question. I'm going to describe a scenario for you right now as the rest of the group is cleaning up and getting ready to exit. So at this point, what you see in particular is somewhere an optical scanning laser zips down and blasts right over your retina. And you can see it's strafing right towards glass and amethyst and catches them as well. Your experience in this case, because this is exactly what how the Pope Patrol catches people, is this is a way of linking a person with a time-date stamp to a specific location and to catch their ID irrevocably in the system. Sometimes it's just someone with a desire to monster them and grab their data, and sometimes it's someone with an agenda. So, before I ask you what you want to do, I'm going to give you the option of asking that one question. Here are some of the things you can ask. What potential complication do I need to be wary of? What do I notice despite an effort to conceal it? How is X vulnerable to me? How can I avoid trouble or hide here? What is my best way in, out, or past X? Where can I gain the most advantage? What is my biggest threat in this situation? Who or what is in control here?
Okay.
Big list. Any questions before we move on?
Yeah. What do I notice in spite of someone trying to conceal it?
All right. You've been on the lookout this entire time, and as soon as the laser goes by, you know exactly what's going on. Your eyes, inevitably, the camera tracks up and starts down at the floor, past the dancing and gyrating bodies and the delivery drones and the people on the commerce floor, and sweeps up to the rafters above that look as if they're so dusty and dirty that they haven't encountered a cleaner in decades. Amongst the cobwebs and dust, a shadowed figure in a pixelated stealth bodysuit. It looks like it's refracts the very light and draws in darkness, is holding some sort of square laser scanner device in their hands, and has it pointed at the rest of your companions. What do you do?
Has he noticed that I've made him?
Doesn't look like it. It's a figure. You're not even sure if it's male or female. Could be a robot, could be a droid, could be a human being. Mm-hmm. Could be a fixed installation just meant to look like a person. You don't know.
How far away is it from where I'm standing?
It's about 40 feet up on a rafter. And if you weren't specifically looking for it and hadn't specifically been guided to it, the laser lights, disco balls, various neon and refractory hairdos, and other visual effects in the building would have made it impossible to spot.
Okay, so I think I want to down the rest of my drink and throw my glass at it.
Okay. What is your objective in doing so?
To see if I can startle it enough to get a read on what it is, whether it's a person or a hologram, or Slip is a man of action, so
yeah.
I operate largely on instinct. So
you're gonna try and get it on the run, scare it off, in other words, or get some sort of reaction that'll that you can deal with later. I'm gonna say that's gonna be act under pressure, cool. So roll plus cool for me.
And we might have lost you again.
Yeah? Oh, and I had just the sound effect queued up for him. Babylon. Talk about pixelated. I think you've been frozen again.
I swear it wasn't the hacker.
Party infighting already. I love it.
So good.
Let's take a look. I'm gonna roll for you. Since you're not there, we'll just do it in the chat. Well, you did very well and got a 14. Congratulations. Literally the maximum possible effect. I think we just lost Babylon.
Probably
Hopefully coming
resetting
back.
or restarting or something.
Better.
Probably.
Try to log out.
Wow, that roll though. That roll though.
Something else.
That is the only time I will ever roll high.
Yeah.
All right. So, we are going to move on in this case. I'm hoping that our driver gets back to us, but on the off chance it doesn't, we're going to narrate as follows. Slip sees something and downs his drink. It's an old glass snifter, curiously out of date and sort of retro for this kind of place. And with no hesitation, cocks back and throws it upstairs. Nothing happens. Let's try that again. There we go. And a explosion happens above. Glass flies down, and a figure drops the 40 feet, lands elegantly on the floor. The figure is garbed in refractory. In other words, it almost looks like each 1,000 tiny pixels have covered its entire body, making it almost blend in with the background. Except there's so much light moving around, it's hard for it to stay completely invisible. It blurs and immediately, again without hesitation, sprints for the door. It looks like it's heading out the door pretty quickly. It was closer than you guys are. What do you do?
I would look at it and kind of see what went down and look over at Glass and say, "Oh, Glassy, it looks like our friend made a mess."
Yeah. So, yeah.
You guys gonna stick around? You gonna try and exit the area?
We should probably get a move on.
I agree.
And I would like to try to slip away in the middle of a commotion that this has certainly caused.
Okay.
And hopefully grab Slip on the way, as we all...
Not even hard to do. No one's... Random stuff happens all the time. One of the aspects of this type of environment is guerrilla theater. People will do strange things and try and get recorded doing it so that they can be famous for a moment. Usually sensitive to this glass. It's the opposite of good reporting. You have to constantly be aware of people who are trying to portray roles and are trying to become more famous than they actually are. And other people who sometimes are there to record them. Hey, you back, Babylon?
Here.
And Glass puts his hat on the way out. Try and cover his face a little bit.
Good news. I rolled for you. You got a 14.
Oh, that's awesome. So how did I do?
I shall re-narrate. You're standing, looking around, and catch sight of this improbably well concealed individual. Down your drink, and without hesitation, which is probably why it works, you throw the old style retro snifter up in the 30 feet towards it, and definitely get its attention. The glass breaks. People start running around.
Does the goat say?
There's a fair... Yep. There are a fair number of people in the background and who are running around, and in the resulting disturbance, your Glass and Amethyst are able to abscond out the door. Unfortunately, your quarry does as well, but you've broken up any immediate surveillance they were headed for. Do you want to do anything in particular?
Nope. I'm just gonna kind of smirk and turn and saunter out the door.
All right. So, what kind of base are you guys using for your discussions for planning this particular mission? Apartment, Computer probably back at you guys all working. Hey, Seamus, are they in your apartment? Do you insist on working completely remotely with no human contact? What's the deal?
No, they can be held out of my apartment. That's fine. He
All
just
right.
doesn't like going anywhere. He doesn't really. If I presume he met these people already, so he kind of knows them and trusts them somewhat.
Gotcha. And you've got a plan to get out of here and burn this location if you have to. That's what the motorcycle's for.
Exactly.
Not entirely sure how you're going to ride it. You've only taken it in for maintenance trips once a year, but it's part of the plan. The plan is well documented, bullet pointed, and perfectly formatted.
It can drive itself. He's got plenty of experience with AI.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go to your apartment. And we are now in said location. You're in a reasonably nondescript and anonymous flat in part of the Sprawl. You can hear random pieces of computer equipment in the area. You want to describe kind of what your digs look like here, Seamus?
Yeah, it's a bit not so clean, but it's functional. It's a kind of a dumpy, cheap apartment in the cheapish part of town, and so it's got sort of metallic refrigerator in which he keeps numerous stock energy drinks and whatnot, and computer monitors strewn throughout the place. On a couple of them, there's a max headroom screensaver.
Classic.
A couple of anachronistic, anime posters on the wall. And
all right.
He would just kind of be chilling out at a desk or something.
Cool. All right, so you guys are at the base. I assume, does anyone want to do anything before we open up the mission planning equipment?
Would Seamus have nachos lying around so I can eat nachos in character?
Seamus would have all kinds of junky snacks around, so yeah.
And if not, there's a printer available, so you can print up some nachos if you need to.
That's a win.
Excellent.
Welcome to 2172, a dark dystopian future where 3D printing now has taken on corn chips, and queso dip is even less all natural than it was before.
And there's also down the hall a vending machine that flickers on and off and may or may not give you what you want.
Yeah, because there are at least 3 hackers in the building who may or may not have entirely compromised the entire operating system. And there's at least 1 tech who may or may not have rebuilt the entire vending system from the bottom up. It's less of a vending system now and more like a communal project that dispenses food and equipment. All right, so you guys open up the adventure, in this case, the mission statement. A couple of things show up immediately. This is an extraction. You're asked to break into what appears to be an underground laboratory beneath a local McDonald's franchise. It is in the bad part of town, where most people don't want to go. It can barely be called town, honestly. It's attached to the Sprawl only because it's part of the greater metroplex that the better parts were built into. And this place serves more like a... MacDash is a company... You know what? I've got an answer for this. It's a company that works on selling mercenaries and also feeding people at home and abroad. If you'll give me just a second, you guys will find out exactly what it's about. There we go. That's what I want. So, and everybody's heard of MacDash. That's how it's referred to. It's not McDonald's, it's MacDash. It has cartoons, it has advertising and recruiting posters, it has merchandising. And here's one of its ads. Here at Mac Dash, we think of ourselves as a helping company. Our elite military contractors are helping protect your freedom while we expand our acreage overseas. We provide militaries and patriots everywhere our prepackaged meals ready for chow line products, keeping the forces of freedom safe and fed everywhere. MRC. Good eating. Back home, we're putting food on the table. Whether it's your table with our prepackaged Patriot pot pies or Hungry Hero dinners, or maybe it's you coming to one of our tables, where you can pick out one of our Angry Angus burgers, our Dog hot dogs, our Daisy Goat shakes, or any Arizona fries. That all come in 3 sizes: regular, large, or my favorite, Captain size. That's right. Just look for the golden M's for one of our franchises. Fighting for freedom. Feeding the homeland. Feeding our soldiers. Mac Dash. A helping company. Everybody loves Mac Dash. McDonald's. And that's how most people think of McDonald's in this age.
I picture Seamus like slapping the skip ad button frantically.
Yep, and it inevitably comes back up.
I love it so much.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
Every time you guys try and restart the mission log or something, it still plays. Everybody loves Mac Dash. McDonald's. Courtesy of our production here at Knights of the Braille, ladies and gentlemen, real sound effects done in real time. All right, and that's company. Of course, you're not going for that. You're going for the laboratory, which is supposedly underneath this franchise location. It's a very Western country themed, if you could tell from the advertisement. Annie, Arizona, and company were part of their original sort of down home prairie marketing team. Their mascot is a giant clown in cybernetic body armor with camouflaged overalls, and holds a machine pistol in one hand, firing bullets which seed the ground with tombstones, and in the other hand hands a pitchfork with which he cultivates the land and feeds the masses. It's topped off with a radar dish hat that looks kind of like a straw hat. His call sign is Pitchfork 1, and Captain Ronald feeds the world while keeping it safe. And at least once every episode calls home to talk to his little girl, Annie, Arizona, while she's on the farm with Dog and Daisy Goat. And just has to complete this one more mission before getting home. He just never quite seems to make it. The mission in this case has you diving down, breaking into the laboratory, which is underneath. You'll have to do the research because they don't have specific plans. There is a lab underneath. They say it's very small, and they need you to get a sample of the material that is inside. And bonus, if you can get some of the files and research data, which is going to be there as well. They don't care about collateral damage. You just need to get the equipment and other items. They prefer that there not be any witnesses. You can take that as however you want. They just need that information. They need you to get away clean. So you have a break-in at a distant, and they have a location for this place. Consider it the wrong side of the track sort of place. It's the local stop and rob. It probably has some guy who's under an internship, otherwise known as indentured servitude, while a bunch of robots serve up food and commercials run, and reruns of Ron run in the background. People can eat there.
As far as you would know, it'd be pretty obvious if they had a direct laboratory, so how they're hiding it is of question. And now we get to the meat and potatoes. You have a little bit of time here, 24 hours according to the time frame, to plan a mission to recon, which will get you 1 experience, to penetrate, which will get you another experience, to escape or to acquire the goods, which will get you a 3rd experience, and to escape with those goods, it will get you 2 more experience. So 5 experience total if you can complete the mission. How would you like to go about this? Consider this a tactical application of your communal skills. Each of you can do 1 or 2 things before we are going to start mission time, and that starts at, what is it right now? 4:07, so at about 6:05, we are going live with mission. What do you guys, what's your plan? Thoughts? How would each of you approach this particular problem to gain resources and help plan out the penetration?
Seamus finds some popcorn, pulls up a Batman the Animated Series episode called Critters, and says, "It's research."
Fucking love it.
Flip just glares. Like, seriously?
What? I mean, it's all about it's all about giant raptor chickens and evil farmers. That's clearly what we're going after, evil farmers.
Flip had to waste half a glass of perfectly good cheap bourbon tonight. He's just in no mood.
I know, I saw it. It was hilarious. Security cameras all over the place there.
Man, I want to see the replay. You have that?
Oh, sure. Here. He pulls it up.
Oh man, look, I look good. Look at that leather jacket. Right there. See right there.
It's a little grainy.
Good angle. I want you to airdrop me a live photo.
Sound is it's just the whole scene is just mapped out in 3D live. Touched up with the appropriate photo tools. Looks like you're going for the pitch over the home plate. Every time.
Little bit of a 3D tilt to it, almost like a half hologram.
You got it. You guys have limited time though. How are you going to go about getting this stuff out of this location? And what are each of should note at this point that anyone who wishes to, some of you are particularly good at, may declare a contact, or in amethyst, I still want to say sapphire there, I cannot squelch the instinct, may declare 2 contacts. These are people that you know who may have information, and you would roll Hit the Street, which is style, in order to talk to them and potentially gain gear, knowledge, or advantage in the meantime.
Yes, I feel like at this point I was propped up behind the wall, just like watching these guys relive the scene. And then she walks up and she's like, "Well, if you boys are done, I think we can get started." And yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to do. I would like to declare contact and use Hit the Street. I think yeah.
So the objective in this case is that you want to get a specific thing. You are going to. Everyone gets to declare it once. You get to declare it twice because you're a fixer. If you wish to, you don't have to do 2. I am pointing out that you have the option of doubling down if you want, and then we'll roll on Hit the Street and see how well the interaction goes. So you're going to say that you're going to a person or a group for a thing, and depending on how your roll goes, we'll narrate how that happens. And as a result of that, you will write down the name of the person or group on your character sheet as a permanent contact, which you may use later and may be part of the game. As we talked about. Any preference for what you think would be useful in this particular situation?
I mean, qualities wise, I was thinking someone who is maybe a little bit in the seedy underbelly and may know about this, but is also kind of intelligent and would know something about a laboratory. So,
okay.
I don't know what all you need me to describe about them.
I don't need anything in particular. I just need a name. I just need to know what you're trying to accomplish by going to see them.
I want to figure out what exactly they do in this laboratory. Like what kind of stuff is maybe like what kind of things are being like what kind of equipment, what kind of things are being brought into the laboratory and brought out of the laboratory. So somebody who would have their hands kind of in that part of it, 'cause that seems reasonable.
So you want someone who's in the seedy underbelly of this kind of place that that even though it's supposed to be a total secret, I mean, someone knows about it, and you want to see if there's any word on the street about it.
Yeah.
All right. Don't you have a move like reputation or something like that?
I do.
And what does
I
that
do.
say exactly?
I will tell you. Let me scroll back up to it. It is called it's called Reputation. It says when you meet someone of consequence who might have heard of you, roll Edge. On hit, say how you know them. 10 plus, take +1 forward with them, and then if I miss, you decide what they've heard about you, if anything.
Okay.
And
so,
then, that's
do you want to do that? You can do that to try and preload this interaction. If it doesn't go well, you're pretty much saying at this point that you're going to have problems in this upcoming interaction. But it's a way for you to stack the dice if you want to.
Yeah, I can do that. I have a +1 edge, so I would just roll Edge to start, right?
Yep, 2d6 plus Edge.
Let's see if I did that right. Oh wow, that's absolutely atrocious. I just got a 4, a 4.
4.
We're not off to a good start. It's a 1 and a 2.
So, you remember before I said you had that little problem with Renegade, the Renegade group, and Time Ruger? Well, the Renegade group basically runs a lot of the Bad Town parts, and you have a contact there. Do you want to give me a name?
Jacques. It's coming to my mind. I don't know why.
Jacques. MC Jacques is Renegade Group has a very specific business model. You start as a thug enforcer, you do work, and if your work is flashy enough and you have a good enough personality, they'll let you run a TV show or most likely do your own album. If that goes really well and you have enough fame in your particular community and you make enough money for the group, then you'll be put in charge of the community. It's a weird sort of pyramid-based promotion/violence/management structure, but it works for them pretty well, and it's all based on reputation. And you fucked him over. He didn't get the gear he needed when he needed it. He's not super fond of you right now. So you're going to him for information about this lab. Let's see what you roll plus style.
All right. I believe. Let me look at my stats. I have +2 style, so let's see how
you
that
do.
goes.
And you're gonna need it.
I am. Come on! Oh, wow, I keep rolling 1s. I am it's not going well. I got an 8! Wait, yeah, 5, 6. No, that's not right. Yeah, that is right. It's a 6 + 2. 8. I can't add.
8, okay.
Yeah.
So, on an 8, let's see, on a 7 plus, you get what you want. 10 plus, you get a little something extra. 7, 9, choose 2 from the list below. Plus some sass from me because you failed your other one. Here we go. No charge. You get to pick 2 of these. Your request is going to cost you extra. Your request is going to take some time to put together. Probably not in your best interest given how short a time frame you're working on. Your request is going to attract unwanted attention or consequences. Your contact needs you to help you out with something. If you turn them down, take -1 on this move until you make it right.
Oh, man.
Jacques is going to just ruin your day publicly until you get this down. Those are, you pick 2 of those.
Oh, I have to pick 2. Okay. Let's go with your request is going to cost extra, and your contact needs you to help them out with something.
All right.
That's going to be fun.
So, in another apartment, much like this one, except this one is covered in headshots, marketing materials, several crime scene stills, and newspaper articles identifying and chronicling Jacques' many achievements in his local neighborhood. He's a fixer of his own himself, although it usually involves a mag dump and walking away at high speed before the popo get there. he fixes, quote unquote, giant air quotes, problems for people. You know, he's more about separating people from the resources rather than putting them together with connections, that sort of thing.
Mm.
So, you want me to give you the information, right? You want to know about this place? Okay, I can help you out there. That's the thing I can do. But you gotta understand, you put me out. I got a reputation, so I'm gonna need you. Need you to give me. I'm gonna need you to make it right. I'm gonna need you in the next time. You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to equip my boys with whatever they want, even if it's high end. Uh, I'm gonna need some hard. I'm gonna need some steel, the iron pipeline. You understand? And he
Oh yeah, I understand.
points to a picture of uh, it's ripped right out of the movie Boondock Saints. It's the gun room at one of the scenes, and it looks like a room. It's full of just grab bags of random weapons, magazines, ammunition, high-tech gear. So here's the deal: you're gonna forfeit whatever money you were gonna get on this little mission, and you're gonna give it to me. And when we're done, we're gonna be square, and you'll be successful. And if you get paid extra for the job, fine. But I'm gonna need those 3 creds you were gonna make for this, or whatever your employer's gonna give.
All right. I nod and look at him and look at the picture and say, I think we can do that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And so going forward, it's Jacques says, it's you're gonna be known as my supplier exclusively, right? You're not
No,
gonna
I'm
sell
not
to these
making any
people on this other
promises.
side. So you're not going to sell to this guy, or this guy, and they're all the people, and they have like names, and they're like ranked. You can tell like it's at the front of the office, and they're just listed. They're headshots, like pictures of these other people in his territory, and they all have like hand scribbled numbers, and they're all listed in descending order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can tell that it's an order of reputation. It's basically a hit list for him to advance. He's got to take out or overcome. So you're not going to
Oh
sell to
boy.
them. Understand? You're mine. You work for me. Okay?
Now, Jacques, I don't make any promises, but
You're going to make a
you know I
promise here.
got your back.
You're going to make a promise here. And then I'm going to make it right with the rest of my group so you don't have any more problems. Otherwise, you don't get nothing. And you're on my bad list. You don't want to go up you don't want to be on there. He points to the list of people. I got security. I got a picture of you. I can add it right now. You want me to print it out? You want me to put you there? On the list.
No, I think I'd like to keep my picture off of that list.
All right. We got a deal. All right. So you can mark intel in this case. Did you want to try that again?
What, with another contact?
Oh yeah, you got the option. It went really well this
Oh my
time. I'm happy for
It
it.
went so well, I'm a little afraid. I'm honestly.
You don't have to. I'm just letting you know you have the option.
We'll skip it for now, and I'll let somebody else go.
Alrighty. So let's move back over to who wants to go next? Does anyone
go
want to do any
next.
prep work for this? Again, you don't have to. Just asking what you're doing in order to prep, and you're gonna have to make your plan.
I can do research.
You do research?
Sure.
All right. You gonna go online to the onto the Matrix?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that requires a change in scenery.
It'll pull out a wire and from one of his computer decks and plug it into a socket just above his ear, right in the midst of his hairline.
Starts jacking in, prepping himself up. So, are you going straight into the Matrix? You're gonna just start hacking around, try and make some contacts, and see what happens?
Yeah, just see what I can pull up on research for this location.
All right, well, let's bring you up. All right. You are in the mass-held consensual hallucination called the Matrix. All around you as you jack in is a giant polygon and holographic pixelated world, roughly approximating the sprawl around you, but in bright neon blinking colors, almost like a cartoon version of the world that you're in right now. It lacks the grime, and yet the bright neon seems somehow sterile and washed out. It's your home. It's where you live. Has none of the dirty, meanness, meaty nastiness of the real world. Here, you can excel because you're hacked in direct into the center. So, you have a couple moves, I believe, that work with this. And what are you going to do? You're going to hack into some place? You can do some research here on the net? What are you trying to do?
I was just thinking research.
Okay. What are you trying to find out?
Kind of about what the place, the underground lab that we're supposed to be breaking into.
You want to get their location, kind of what the security system might be like, see if the lab is present on the net?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's bring you in. So you're going to look around, and you actually have a move for this. It's Console Cowboy. But let's see here. You're probably, are you trying to just do research about it, or are you trying to, if you can find it, actually hack into the location, I guess is my question.
Oh, yeah. Let's actually try and hack into the location and try to get kind of some sort of presence on there.
Okay. So you switch locations over to the place itself. You can either try to find it, or you can spend one of your groups of intel and actually find out the location and requirements to actually access where you think the lab is. Your call. I believe there's only one group intel token currently. Is that correct?
That's what I've got.
Yep, I've got one.
All right. So, do you want to burn it now, or do you want to risk the die roll and see what Lady Luck has to say?
What say you all? Even though you're not in here,
Call.
you all want me to burn it, or do you just want me to roll?
I say if you can get into it, use the intel, go for it.
Cool. All right.
All right.
We can always get some more.
True.
It's true. All right. So let's do an intel check. What you're going to do is Console Cowboy, first of all.
Oh, do I have to roll for that, right?
Yep. I'm bringing it up now. I'll tell you what it is. So as a hacker, you're not just a guy with a keyboard. You're not just someone slinging ones and zeros. You are directly hardwired into the Matrix. Nerves, chemical processes. The system has you jacked in with custom hardware, something more than just an Otis Sendai 5. You're dealing an NGO 6732 hardwired thorough gauge connection to the Matrix that drives at 10,000 times faster than the average person can type, react, or comprise any sort of response. You are in the Mercedes-Benz that's been jacked up, rebuilt, refit. If Lizzie was a computer system, you would be running her right down the heart of the Matrix into this location system. As a byproduct of that, you're not just hacking like most people would. You're slightly ahead of the game, and that's important. So, let's take a look here. Console Cowboy, when you connect to the secure system, which is what you're doing, roll plus mind. And that's what we're going to do first. And you have +2 on mind.
So that is 2d6 plus 2.
You got it.
It would help if I did that right.
It would. but I've screwed up a couple of rolls here and some typing stuff, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I can also type it in the chat for you. Ask whatever you want to, if you need help. Let me know.
I got a 8.
An 8. Okay. So as an 8, you get a +1. I believe. Let me just verify that. Do. All right. So is that what you rolled an 8, or is that including the +2?
That's including +2.
+2. All right. You gain 1 hold, so you're ahead of the game by 1. That means you can use it to bypass systems or break in. In reality, what you're going to try and do right now is compromise their security. And compromising, there are some basic moves that you can try and do in this case. Intelligence lets you research stuff about the system, so you can do that. You can try and directly compromise their security, which would let you roll plus edge. You can let them try, or you can try and manipulate the system using synth if they're physical parts of the location. Most likely what you're going to want to do in this case is roll plus int, which means you're going to try and research and get specs on their system. Also, you're already in, so what could go wrong, right?
Exactly.
So let's roll 2d6 plus int.
Where is my int?
And I'm going to assume in this point that you've just used your console cowboy hold to just totally bypass the security system, and you're going right into the research phase. You're in there. You're past their defenses. I'm going to tell you how this looks once we've done the die rolling and describe it.
Was I? Where? What's my int?
It's +2.
Oh, is that mine?
So what's your? Let me know what your result is.
I got another 8 apparently.
Another 8 total. All right. So 7-9. First of all, take intel. So you get another intel token for the group. Good job. And you get one of the following questions answered, as well as a follow-up question. So you're basically going to get 2, or once you get the answer to this question, you can ask another one. Where would I find X? How secure is X? Who or what is related to X? Who owned or employed X? Who or what is most valuable to X? What is the relationship between X and X? And you get.
So, how is X?
All right, I'm assuming you're talking about the physical location where this is. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So, from what you can tell, based on your research, it is most of this location security is based in its obscurity. I'm gonna, as we're talking about this, the first thing that the camera pans around is the almost comic book or cartoonish world. There's an over pixelated version initially on the screen of a Mac-Donald's franchise. It's not a very good one because this is not a great part of town and no one's really invested a lot of money into it. And yet, as you're trying to log into the system, even here,
everybody loves Mac-Donald's.
but with a facility for computer systems and options that you are well known for, Glitch Foo avoids the glitch, bypasses a pretty pedestrian off the shelf set of security guidelines, and walks right into the baseline coding. Once you walk into the franchise, you can see that there's an entirely separate section which has been blocked off with a mix of blue and red ice, which again you can bypass using your console cowboy. You find yourself in the middle of basically a very cartoonish, square, blocky version of the inside of a Mac-Donald's franchise. And stepping around the back counter, you can look at all the systems, in other words, the nodes that run the place, including the iced over section involving the research center. Security for the system involves initially, it's underground. You're going to have to get past what appear to be some sort of automated robot guards, a physical door which is maglocked in the floor in the back room, and then there's a clean room inside, which means that there's an area where the scientists and people work, and then there's an experimental area, which is where the material's handled, that's been sealed off with a vacuum sealed room with safety glass, and you can use Waldos and manipulators in order to manipulate the material inside. It's not designed to come in contact with human people. So, to summarize, you're going to have to get into the building. Not that hard. It's a public restaurant. You're going to have to get behind a counter. Slightly harder. It's you're not really supposed to go there. You're going to have to get past a maglock security door. Probably a hatch in the floor somewhere in that back room. Not too difficult, but it would have been hard if you didn't know it was there. And then there are at least 2 kinds of robot guards or something between you and the security room. Also, there are basic observational and security devices which report back to, who's ever watching this lab. Still not clear whether this is just Mac-Dash that's been compromised or whether it's an official Mac-Dash location. Follow-up question. Any?
From that list?
Yep.
Can you read the list again?
Will you read them again?
Yep.
Okay. Where would I find X? How secure is X? You've already asked that one. Who or what is related to X? Who owned or employed? Who or what is most valuable? What is the relationship between X and X? And that's it.
Who or what is most valuable? Let's mess that. Sounds like a shameless question.
You, it could be most valuable to you. It could be the people running the lab. It could be the Mac-Dash location. Most valuable to this mission.
Let's go with most valuable to the people running the lab.
Okay, that's not hard to do. It's whatever is in the hard-coded database you're looking at is probably that one's still under ice, but you can tell that's where the security information is, the information that someone wants you guys to extract. That and the physical materials that are behind the glass door. Congratulations, you have you've done your back research. We have some basic gear and reputation that people have picked up. That leaves Glass and Slip. Glass, do you have anything you want to do here? After I pull us back out of the Matrix? Oh, and if I can go back for just 1 second. Seamus, this does mean that you've already broken into their system. So you haven't broken into the database that has the experimental stuff, but you're already locked in for now. So,
cool.
I'm not going to make you go back over that. Okay?
Okay.
Good work.
So
go ahead, Glass.
I think I could spend 1 hold to get something else out of the research list.
Sure. What do you want?
Which seems like it would be appropriate.
Okay.
And I want to know who owned or employed this particular Mac-Dash. Meaning who is actually operating it.
Who's in charge? Yeah. All right. So, that's you're spending your hold from your nose for story. Is that right?
1. I have 3. This is a really
all
good
right.
roll.
So you're spending 1. It isn't hard for someone in your position to track this kind of thing down. You've done the experience and done the kind of work before. It's not like the whole protection of this kind of place isn't that it's super secure. It's that no one in their right mind would put a secure research base underneath a fast food franchise. It's so dumb that it's its own protection. It's not that hard to track down at least the initial property owners through a couple of shell companies, and once you've once you've done your background work, it looks like NGO. That's non-genetic oversight. The people who do bio research and things have looked at this and turned it down. The Yes Group, yesterday's evolutionary, is basically fronting the whole location and have secured some sort of partial local administrator rights and are running this particular experiment. It's very much their style too. They're sort of the mystery men that try not to be found or do anything. They're very much into the old ways, so doing this sort of experiment privately is kind of up their alley.
Excellent.
Okay.
We know who we're dealing with.
Yeah. So there's definitely a MacDash connection in here somewhere, but the people doing the actual base are definitely Yes. Okay. And as Glass is doing this, you can see the hard-boiled reporter walking around, typing quickly at super fast, 120 words per minute on a keyboard, speaking, doing social engineering, talking to different people, passing people new yen and other credits in order to get information, building up a background, and then putting it all together in on a billboard, on a cork board in his office with pieces of synth string and colored wire, linking all the stories up until it points to Yes as the final answer to his question.
Oh yeah, he's old school like that.
I was him. That was the picture I assumed you were going for?
Absolutely.
All right, and that leaves us with a little bit of time extra. Hey, Slip, are you doing anything in here?
So I was going to see if I could hit the streets and maybe get some gear.
Okay. What kind of gear are you looking for?
I also am somewhat low tech in my own way, so I was thinking that we ought to get some MacDash uniforms so that we can all put those on and have that buy us at least a little bit of time until we start attracting attention.
So you're going to hit the streets, talk to someone out there, and see if you can grab some cast-off coveralls and the whole MacDash uniform?
Yep.
All right.
So that's plus style, isn't it?
It is. Although, I believe you have a move that modifies that. Is that right? You have a bunch of stuff that you can do with your car that helps you with things like this.
Okay, let's see. I think the only other move I had declared with a hot shit driver. Let's see. I think hot shit driver will help me in this case.
Give me a sec here, and I'll give you a hand with it. Oops, that would have gone badly. So, if you look under your car move, under the descriptions of the different flags that you chose, the tags, several of them talk about how you can add its power or its look to different roles.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Sleek and powerful.
We're going to go in a bad part of town, because that's where you hit the streets, right?
Where you do bad stuff.
Be bad guys, I think that's the quote.
Yeah. Do bad stuff, be bad guys.
You can hear the burn pile in the trash can in the background where we are. It's obviously a bad part of town. Someone fires a laser pistol. There's a dog barking. Bad things are happening. Let me see if I can pull up something here and give you a hand. So it's under second skin.
Okay, I'm just looking here. It's been one hold. Let's see.
Okay, it doesn't look like that's... I'm thinking of a different move. I apologize.
No, I don't.
On the other hand,
They only let me do that if I'm actually driving.
yeah. There's another move, I'm sorry, that I forgot, that helps you when you hit the street. You can pick it and gives you advantage of the vehicle. You didn't pick that one. That's okay. So I have this picture of you driving around in Lizzie, going to meet someone from your bad old days, someone that the Pope Patrol would not be super happy about you talking to. Give me a name and who you're contacting to get this stuff, because you don't want just the coverall. You want the full look. You want the background material. You want everything put together so you guys can just walk past the front door and no one will notice, right?
Yeah, let's say she's called Roxy, and she's the head of a small-time gang of young lady hoodlums who pull to do small-time jobs, and who I've had some interactions with.
Okay, fair enough. So hit the street is plus style. That roll 2d6, add style, and let's see.
6 and a 4. Nice. So I have no style.
It doesn't matter if I'm rolling.
No style, but I do have a 10.
I mean, you have plenty of style.
I have. That's all the style I needed. Okay.
All right. Well, let's go and pull this up here for you. When you go to contact for help, roll style. You've done that. 7+, you get what you want, so you're getting it. 10+, you get a little extra. Choose intel or gear.
All right. So I want gear.
So no, you're already getting the stuff you're asking.
Well, I'm already getting the gear. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll take another intel.
All right, another intel token. So you now have 2 intel tokens and 1 gear in reserve, I believe.
Yep.
As a group. So, just rocks. This is all of these are occurring in sort of like little montage scenes, cut pieces. If you ever seen the A-Team or TV shows like that, where all the people are going out in their little missions. You never see the whole thing, because that would take too long in a 30-minute episode to be cut short. Instead, you just see the key moments, and in this case, it's Lizzie. The camera flows over sensual curves, the pixelated edges and gun ports, and pictures of flash of lights of the minor 6 inches of tire, which can be seen grabbing the road. The rest of it's covered by armored curves of steel and synth plastic, and driving up and turning with the little lights underneath the vehicle, so it looks like it's driven by some sort of radioactive power source, pulling up in front of this old playground. There are a bunch of women in leather, heavy leather armor, synth suits, and other equipment. Some of them are dressed up in fine evening wear, and some of them are dressed kind of punk. The rest, there's at least one woman standing by the swing set, except one of the swings is replaced with a 50 caliber machine gun hanging on a reinforced chain. It's pointed directly at you, and the belt fed is pulling over her shoulder. And you know damn well that if you screw up here, that's not a joke. Fortunately for you, Roxy has a favorable opinion of the bad old sheep coming back to town. Where you been, stranger? Gee.
Roxy.
Hey. Is that Lizzie? Is that still Lizzie? Oh.
How's my other favorite lady?
Oh, still second. I can never compete with that car.
Never could. You all right, though?
Yeah? Well, you didn't come here for old news. What'd you come here for, big boy?
Need a thing.
You always need a thing.
Yeah, I need bad this time, though.
What you need?
We need some Mac Dash swag. Uniforms, maybe badges. We need to look like fry cooks.
You trying to get a job, Slip?
Yeah, me? You know better.
Man, you know they're always hiring.
Everybody loves Mac Dash. McDonald's.
Me with a job, that'd be the day.
You just want to look like you have a job there, is that right?
Right. Well, I do have a job. It's just not for them.
Uh-huh. You got a job. It's just not that job. I get it. We can do that. We can do that for old time's sake. You're going to come by again, though, right?
You know it.
You know Jessie's over there, and if you don't come back, she's going to be real upset and might want to give you a preemptive reason to come to the repair shop.
Seem to
That'd be
remember
bad.
we had a little scrape with that last time almost.
Scrape, he says. Yeah. Yeah, I had to replace 2 limbs after that.
I had to
Should have
replace a
charged you.
headlight. That's almost worse.
Almost. Careful, Slip.
And so I'm kind of like, I turn back around toward Lizzie, and I kind of turn around and like wink at the machine gun and head back toward the car.
All right, I'll get it delivered. You owe me, Slip.
Always. Always.
And she turns back as the car drives away. Always the bridesmaid. All right, and you guys have prepared. You've set yourself up for a little adventure. We are going to take a brief intermission here in case people need to set up, and then we will begin the mission itself, say like 5 minutes. Unless anyone wants to do anything else. I think Amethyst, you had one more contact. Did you want to roll for it, or you want to leave it where it is and let sleeping dogs lie?
We can roll for one more really quick and see.
Oh yeah, what are you aiming for this time?
Let's see. Do you guys want some gear so we can break through this door for sure? Or
so right now you have 1 gear token and 2 intel tokens. You also have coming in a stack of uniforms, so you can all look like MacDash employees. And as of right now, Glitch Fu is locked into the node, and he hasn't broken into the red ice that's covering that data research center. But it wouldn't be too hard for him to try and engage manipulating the security systems and manual options there. You've got your bases covered. What else do you think you would need in this case?
What do you guys think? I was thinking about that door for one, but otherwise, do you have ideas?
Yeah, for spending a gear token for specific gear, I think something like plasma
she's talking
cutter.
about
do I want to get another gear token?
Yeah, she has the option of.
Yeah.
It's you're asking for something specific. Gear tokens and intel tokens are things you earn as parts of moves.
Okay.
Like when Slip just went out and got these uniforms, that's not a gear token. That's physically stuff he's trying to get by hitting the street.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know it's a little abstract. The other things are things you can pull off when you need them, like how Seamus used one of your original intel tokens to figure out the exact lock on the web where the site for this particular MacDash and the associated lab were located.
Gotcha. Spend it when it matters. Yeah.
Right. And then afterwards you would describe how you got that information, which I don't think I did with Seamus, which is my fault. So is there anything else that you guys are looking for that like gear for doing X or Y?
Well,
I kind of want to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that the uniforms, the disguises are good for humans, but if we could have something that would either hide us from the other surveillance systems or something to disable them.
Probably want to do something about those robots.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. You're going to look for something that's going to take out robot security systems, etc. Like a localized EMP blast or something like that.
Ooh. Yeah, some fun tech. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I know what you're looking for.
Some
got it
robots.
on the mind.
All right, so we're rolling for no consequences.
Yep, hit the streets. Want to drop that EMP. All right, so a roll plus style. Do you want to? Is this another thing where your reputation might help you, or do you not want to take that chance?
Tech, Maybe not for tech. I feel
Okay.
like that's probably not her biggest area, so we'll say not. So is this
Okay.
style, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. I got a 6. I'm just lots of winning moves today.
6 total.
Yes, total with everything. Having a day today.
It looks like Slip has all the luck, and I do mean all the luck. All right. So, you go to your contact. You want to give me a name? It's definitely not Jacques in this case.
No, it's not Jock.
You don't want to go back on the list.
No. How about
No?
something cool like cyanide or something?
Cyanide's the password or the name?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right. Cyanide in this case is a contact, and I use contact in the most extreme sense. Some people who live on the outside need a place to trade, and you're one of the fixers who provides them a route to do so. On the edge of one of the old Habstack sections, it's an old 21st century apartment building area. It used to be a business park. It's got repurposed. There's a clan of people modifications, replace parts of their body with mechanical pieces, like things like scissors or other simple devices that are powered by electro engines and other sorts of weird modifications. Others graft animal parts onto themselves or have them genetically mutated. Some of them are just mutants that have come in from the outside. But as a result, they forage everywhere, and they have contacts outside the Sprawl in the Badlands, the Cursed Earth. And if you want weird old tech, these are the kinds of people you have to go through. You go in, you're never really sure what to do with cyanide. Cyanide in this case is gets a name because it's used to be a person, and now their body has been ravaged. They look like an upright talking white rat that's been hit with mange and irradiated. The joke is cyanide looks like they got hit with rat poison, and there you go. They've decided to embrace the look and make it their own. They never talk. You end up making hand signals and typing quickly on a stylus or drawing. Cyanide answers your request, passes you something, and sends you back out. It looks like a standard grenade. It's got in this case, it's got a pin, except the pin in this case is the separation between the contacts, which will initiate a power surge, which will blast a localized EMP blast, or at least that's what it said. It's big plastic prefab. This doesn't look like something that someone scrounged from an old 20th century bunker. It looks like something someone got as part of an updated shipment from someone like Cerberus Toys R Us, like a weapons dealer, or even like one of the off-brand Time Ruger setups. Kind of looks like it's made of polished, smooth plastic. It's definitely been 3D printed and modern manufactured in the last couple of years. But you have your device. As you're leaving, successfully having completed your mission without any trouble, Cyanide steps back into a room, makes some gestures at a screen, and if Jacques' familiar face can be seen on screen, glinting with silver and holographic images pixelated into his teeth, as he picks up a handgun and points it at the wall where your face is at the bottom of the list. Okay. That occurs off screen. So, you got what you wanted, but you did fail the roll. So, and now I will let you all think about that because we are going to take a 2 or 3 minute break, and I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, as Mike Myers used to say. And I will bring up the necessary hold music in the meantime.
There. It's definitely a new experience.
It's intriguing. Yeah. It's great.
Wish I could roll more than an 8, though.
I love it.
I'd take an 8. I don't know what you're talking about. I would take an 8.
Yeah, I guess that's a 6.
Yeah. I'm gonna run to the restroom, guys. I'll be right back.
I will also be back in a moment. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yep.
We
All
hear
right.
you.
So anybody who loves doing anything at all on the computer, I'll give you a pro tip for free. Don't update to Windows 11. Just don't do it.
Already done it.
Oh man, ever since I updated to Windows 11, like a lot of my internet connected stuff, everything from Discord to
Back into
games,
favor.
anything like that, I've just had like no end of trouble with Windows 11.
So far, I have not had those type of problems, but I have had other types of problems that were very annoying.
I haven't really had
Particularly-
any user stuff like it works okay with my screen readers and all that, but
It works better now. It did not work very well at first with NVDA.
oh for real, I just upgraded to like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so it's probably been, but when I first upgraded to Windows 11 and tried to use NVDA, it was like it worked, but like it would lose focus on panes and stuff, and you'd have to like manually go into the different panes and the different. Yeah, it was very. Thankfully, it only took them an update or two to fix that on NVDA's side, but they've still
Well, it
had
loses focus
user
too. I
interface
still have that some with Jaws does it too.
They just changed like Notepad, and I do not like it.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm still an avid Notepad user because I started using computers back in the 90s when everybody was, but I love my Notepad and they have ruined it for sure. I don't like it.
Oh, no. God, I don't know what they did to it, but man, it sucks now.
And 10 really wasn't half bad.
No, it
I mean,
wasn't.
I didn't mind 10. I've used 10 for many years. Once they got to where Jaws worked with Edge, it was awesome, but yeah, definitely not loving 11. It's like I have really good internet. I speed test it and I'm getting 200 megs up and down, and still stuff's lagging out and the connection is, I don't know. I'll be back momentarily.
I'm back. Yeah.
Correct.
I love it. I wish things had gone right for me so far, but sometimes that's what we're dealt. Sometimes that's the cards we're dealt. Oh my god.
I haven't gotten to talk a whole lot, but such is the plight of a antisocial, mostly digital hacker person.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
Howdy. I done. I have the rest of my my glass has been filled for the final time for this adventure, for the sake of my players. Be a self fail of a 6 or less if I go for too much more.
No, but... Yeah.
Hey now.
Hey, I thought you were gonna do another voice for Roxy. You started out doing one, and then you just kind of went to the basic female type thing. But
I feel pretty self-conscious doing
Yeah,
female voices too much.
I know.
It's not my.
It was great. It was great. It was fine.
It was.
Feel free if you ever want to take over character, Danny, or anyone else. You're welcome. That's why we roll in advance, so we know what the outcome's going to be. If people like improving, I should say.
Did
go ahead.
Jacques' accent also change?
Good bit, yeah.
It might have. That was a rough.
It was a little Italian, little French, little Italian.
Yeah, and then it got New Yorker.
I mean, it's the future. People's language or accent change.
He probably wants to.
Guy's Italian, French, and lived in New York, right?
That's right.
He probably wants to keep people around him like off guard. You know, just changing their accent. Yeah.
Probably got an MD, and he's working his time off here. As just this is an internship. He just can't keep that Oxford accent out, so he's doing every other nationality he can get away with. All right, excellent.
Always a
That's
good
a good sign.
I have not lost them yet. This is better than some of my games. All right. So we are about to begin mission. Who wants to summarize where we are and what's going on? Anyone? You guys have a plan, I guess is a better question, and who is going to talk about that?
Do we have a plan? We got all the information.
We have pieces of a plan.
Yeah,
We're clearly going to disguise ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one aspect.
And we're gonna try and use these EMPs that A6 roll got us.
Yeah.
Robots
That may or may not work. May or may not kill us all. I don't know if that's the thing, but.
So my understanding, based on what you guys have talked through so far, is that you're going to those of you who are going to be there physically. I assume that Glitch Foo is going to be sitting back in the apartment building with his armored fridge full of energy drinks and his motorcycle, which he probably keeps in plastic wrap in case he needs it outside the maintenance. The original plastic wrap. It's close to mitten box so you can manage.
It may or may not talk sass.
All right, you should watch an old TV show called Street Hawk at some point. It's very applicable. And from there, he's remotely wired into the lab systems, already decked in and ready to go. Probably hasn't left and is just waiting for small texts and updates. Monitoring. I'm assuming you guys are queued in and have voice links and comms already set up. There is a certain amount of assumption in this case that you guys have basic equipment that's available. Creds and money are only spent when you're talking about real things, important expenditures of resources. You're all going to go in, or at least some of you are going to go in, enter the facility. You're going to bypass the front door. You're going to go in. Somehow you're going to get past that maglock and any personnel who are there. You're going to go down into the lab. You're going to use the EMP to break past the robots, and quickly through Glitch Foo's work, you're going to get the extra data from the database, and then you're going to extract a physical sample for whatever's inside that lab, which you haven't exactly been able to determine. What Lizzie's part in this and slips will remain to be seen. Have I about got it right? Is that kind of what you're looking at?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me.
So
Slip could go in. Slip can go in with the crew, and we can stash Lizzie.
I mean, there's a parking lot.
Yeah, in the parking lot, since it's a public restaurant.
It's a real restaurant, guys. It's a real restaurant.
Slip might want to, I don't know, run interference or be ready to book it when the job is
That's
done.
the best part about being a driver. He doesn't have to be there. He's got remote control options. You can remotely operate Lizzie.
Oh yeah,
From a distance.
Yeah.
The world looks really fast and full of bullets. All right. Well, in that case, we have a plan. I think it's time to start some beginning of action music. Let's move the camera around, and we will catch the setup. I have too many bots that I need to remember commands for. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is action time. The time is 5:06. We have 44 minutes-ish to get this done. The montage begins, the camera moves around, and Amethyst, Slip, and Glass, having researched and done their respective work, slip into their Mac-Dash uniforms. It doesn't sound quite as cute. The shotgun blast is probably the most important part of that jingle at this point that you all are thinking about, and definitely not the Mac-Dash Donald side. Slipping in, dressed in the very, very iconic blue and green camouflage overalls and coveralls of a Mac-Dash employee, each with a holographic bar-coded badge clipped to your chest, the hat, the mimicked radar hat over your head, and a wealth of experience and confidence, probably not borne out in your die rolls. You slip into Lizzie and drive your way down. Pictures of the car flash by, moving through the city, left, right, as the vehicle turns. Headlights seen, tires flashing, gun ports. The rest, your face is grim and focused on the mission at hand, while Slip makes jokes that no one finds funny. And pull into the parking space, prepared to enter. What do you guys do? In the parking lot.
Oh, we're getting out of the car. We're putting all the things in our pockets and we're getting out of the car, right?
Awesome. Doing the Reservoir Dogs walk?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
In the Mac-Dash uniform. Even better.
Yeah.
Les looks back at Lizzie. He left his hat in the back seat. Switched it over for the Mac-Dash hat. The camera pans across his chest. You see the holographic name tag. It says Second Deputy Manager. I figured that would be depressing enough to justify somebody who looks like they're way too old to be working there. Still is.
Give me just one chance to change the music here. There we go. All right. So, after that rousing startup, you walk into the stereotype sounds of an old West bar. And it's just as bad and cliched as it sounds. Bright cartoon neon colors that have been scuffed by years of grime, grease, scratches with knives, bullets are scraped into the insides. And in this case, you can tell it's not just window dressing and set dressing. It's probably because real fights have happened in here, and they've just never replaced the fittings. There's a guy standing behind the bulletproof or supposedly bulletproof glass of the ordering section. The 3D printer prepared to get your Angry Angus burgers, your Dog hot dogs, your Annie Arizona fries, and your Daisy Goat shakes printed up. He looks terrified to be here, and probably wouldn't be here if he wasn't under some sort of contract. And every time someone comes in the door, the same sound gets played.
Everybody loves Mac-Dash. Donald's.
Over and over. And every time it happens, you can see the guy who's probably been there for 13 hours straight. A little more of his soul dies behind his eyes. because he doesn't do anything. The robots handle everything. He's just there because some corporate policy requires someone who's an indentured payee to be there the entire time. Restaurant's empty. What do you guys do?
So, I was thinking this is to you guys, players. I was thinking we go in and we tell them we're here for the backroom inspection.
Yeah, I like it. I was kind of along those same lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
Prayer for the guy.
I
He's,
can have had printed you out some sort of like official looking document. for
Yeah,
that.
clipboard. Papers on a clipboard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to take
We
charge?
get to the
of
guy.
talking.
Class points to the ridiculous second deputy assistant manager name tag and says, "We're here for the inspection."
Here for the inspection?
Yeah, you've been
Oh,
slacking
okay.
off, haven't you?
What? No, I swear I haven't. I haven't.
Of course you have. Why would be here if
No.
you haven't been slacking?
No, not this time. Not this time. I didn't do anything.
That's what I said. You didn't do anything. You've been slacking off. You having some kind of issue understanding what I'm telling you?
No, sir. No.
Then we don't have a problem, do we?
No, sir.
So you're just gonna use your gear and your other equipment to try and fast talk your way past the guy.
Yep.
All right, I think that's a move. It's called fast talk, and you get a +1 for this due to your preparation and the gear you've picked up in advance. Go
That's
ahead.
fair. I do not have any points in style. Let's see what happens.
Oh no.
That's 1, 2.
Oh, I had 2 in style. I should help that.
That's a 5.
Ooh.
All right.
God.
I feel required at this point, based on the way the game is going.
All right, so you walk back and say, I don't think I did anything. Wait, I really haven't done anything wrong. You know? Okay. You're just here. You know what? I don't care anymore. You can have this job. I don't care. I don't care what you do to my reputation. You can have it.
And he starts throwing his iconic equipment off, like he starts tearing his uniform off and throws his badge on the ground.
I quit. I don't need to go to college. I'll see if. I'll bet Renegade Group. I bet they take people. I bet they pay better than this shithole. I'm done. You hear me?
He gives every camera in the room the finger, and runs out the door and says and starts screaming, "Inspect this!" and moons you as he's going out the back.
As the jingle plays.
Yeah.
Yes, as the jingle plays.
The last thing. I'm laughing so hard I can barely type it. The last thing you hear as he goes out the door mooning you is,
Everybody loves Macintosh. McDonald's.
That's so good.
classic.
All right.
So this is probably considered a career-limiting move. If anyone's been watching any of the surveillance tapes, or has got this, you guys are on some sort of clock. People are the uniform being removed probably directly triggers some sort of automated alert process somewhere.
Right.
The worst levels of corporate management are being. It might. I mean, it's not going to be fast, but some sort of automated response has probably been triggered. The good news is,
robot chef tisk as he sends the message.
well, I guess we're gonna like one of the robot heads turns around. It's one of Captain Ronald's crew. This one is the quote ham burglar, and it's a guy in a ninja suit who has a ham radio set up that he walks around with. He's the communications expert. He's like, well, didn't expect that. I guess we're gonna have to close down for lack of employees. You may exit the building now. Service is no longer available. We regret this inconvenience, partner.
Oh my god.
What do you guys do? You've cleared the space, but you've probably inadvertently put yourself in a clock you didn't expect. Unless someone wants to do something about it. Seamus, you are directly
Seamus
logged in
probably-
the system. You want to
and
try and manipulate?
He does have a thing for this.
Yep. What you got?
It's hang on, let me look.
It's this is basic hacking. You're just gonna it's roll plus synth in this
Oh,
case.
because there was like a where I got a bonus for using
That's right.
machinery or whatever.
All right, fair enough. Let's pull up your character. And sorry, in this place I should be referring to you as Glitch Foo because you are in cowboy mode, which is very ironic given your current setting, but still.
Yeah, that's manipulate when successfully manipulating systems. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Hold +1. That's it.
Yep. So if you're able to successfully manipulate, you're looking at your program section in the bottom.
Correct.
Manipulate, and the other one's eject. So these are ones that give you bonuses for doing certain things. If you're able to succeed at this particular thing, you can you'll be able to shut down the alert system that's about to be triggered, and you'll also get +1 forward to dealing with other systems inside this MacDash location and its associated laboratory. So give me a 2d6 plus synth, which for you is synth +1. Go ahead. And you can also take an additional +1 on this one because you did a bunch of research, and you get +1 forward as a byproduct of that. So really, this one's going to be a +2 for you.
Oh, I got a 12 this time.
Alrighty, massive success. So in this case, that means you'll get you have a +3 to do things in this location using the physical machinery and security systems involved. What that means is you also get an additional +1 because of your manipulate program. So you have 4 points you can spend to make the physical parts of this building do things for you. One of them you can spend right now to cancel that alert that the mooning, rage-quitting minimum wage worker probably triggered. I assume you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. And since they're in uniforms, can't I like shut down that alert by making the system think that they're there as replacements or something?
However you want to do it, you're in charge.
Okay.
So you're canceling the alert, saying that they're the investigating and replacing staff.
Yeah. So like is the head the head of the Hamburglar replacement turns around and says what he said, and then kind of like glitches a little bit, and then revises his
Well, hello, partners. We are reopened for business. Our top professionals are here to make you some great food. We recommend the Angry Angus Burger Captain Size, and don't forget to ask about our secret menu, where Heroes of the Republic, our Patriot Pot Pie subscription program is available for you and you only as a valued member. Yeah. I mean, I always pick Captain Size. It's how I got to where I am. Mm-hmm. Good eating. Open for business. Open for business. Recalculating. Ah, got it.
I would smile, and I feel like I'd send a message to
Everybody loves MacDash. McDonald's.
Ready to go.
So good.
You guys have
It's
replaced
so
your.
good.
You guys have replaced the staff.
I'm gonna be
what's your
hearing that in
plan?
my dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're gonna see a little skinny,
You're very welcome.
freckled kid mooning you.
All right, guys, you have access to the building. You know where the security hatch probably is. Behind the main server area, the cash registers, etc., and the printers where all the food is printed out and prepared. You find a back maintenance room. There's a prison-style toilet in a alcove off to one side. It's metal. It has no lift or lower seat. It's all just one piece. It's all touch-based. All this stuff is designed so that no one can take anything away. It's all bolted down. There's a drainage section in the center, and there's a dusty, what looks like a maintenance hatch over in one corner near a closet that holds some chemical cleaning supplies and the robot that handles all the grease extraction and the other components. There's also a small observational desk and what's called a little sign over a three-legged stool that says, quote, break room.
And boy, does that grease stink.
Oh yeah. It's not the fryer grease. It's the grease that's used to industrially solvent and prepare up a 3D printer that's designed to print 16,000 calories per hour of pre-processed soy and synth products. Good eating.
Ooh,
What are you guys gonna do?
investigate the door.
the robot's like watching us there.
There's no real robot back here. There's just like a couple of security systems and printing, and all this stuff has been overtaken. It's all automated baseline stuff. There's not high tech stuff in this location, despite what's probably underneath here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go look at the hatch.
Okay. So looking around, you guys see a couple of different things here. The hatch appears to be a maintenance hatch. It's big enough for a very large person or two to, if they could get it open, to go down. There's a security, a solid state bar lock system with what appears to be a mag key scanner, and as well as a physical crossbolt key that's required to access the system. Awfully secure for something that's probably designed theoretically to get to some of the waste disposal and the toilet lines.
Is there anything I can do to bypass these electronic locks?
I don't know. Does it look like, from your perspective, it's probably that hatch that you need to open? If you want to spend one of those 3 remaining holds, you certainly can.
I will spin one of those 3 remaining holds.
All right. So, Seamus, having rolled spectacularly well for once, one of maybe 3 or 4 times in this entire game group, is one. You want to describe what happens here, Seamus? How you manage it?
Yeah, so in cyberspace, I'm in that kind of whatever you call it, the artificial or the virtual reality room.
Matrix. Yep. You're sitting
And
inside the node, looking inside a pixelated version of the building that they're in.
then I've got kind of like a really cartoonish wrench, and I'm working on the virtual representation of those bolts.
All right, and suddenly the red light turns to green, the mag bolts retract, and there's the pneumatic hiss as a gas seal breaks, and the smell of nitrogenized filtered cold air is from a sterile room and comes up from below this dusty, dirty back room. If you've ever been in, it's where all the subway subs, restaurants, and waffle houses. You always think that they're clean, but you always know that there's some part that never, ever, ever has been cleaned in the last 30 decades. And this one, the dust from that one corner pops up and falls aside to reveal gleaming chrome, polished aluminum, and bulletproof transparent glass below you in steps down into what you assume is the research bay. What do you guys do? Hello.
Let's look and see if there are any obvious traps, like on the way down.
Okay.
And if not, Slip will just go for it.
All right. So roll assess, which is plus edge. We're gonna move over from here into the actual hallway.
Okay, so I got a 3 and a 5. So I
Okay.
got an 8 plus my assesses plus edge, I believe.
It is. That is correct.
Okay, so I got a 9. Man, these dice I love them. I recommend Braille gaming dice because they roll hot.
Check. All right, so let's take a look at assess. All right. So you have 9, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So you are. I think who or what is in my biggest threat in this situation? And because you're looking for traps, and I can tell you right now, there are no immediate traps on the hallway down. What you can see at the end of the hallway, though, are 2 humanoid figures. They look like they've been, instead of just having hazmat suits, they look like human bodies that are moving very jerkily, and they're covered in something approximating mylar blankets. Sort of reflective. They almost look like cheap aluminum suits, which are containing the badly jerkily moving body parts underneath. That is your biggest threat. We are now into the crap stuff is happening mode. You have a piece of gear for this. What would you like to do?
We only
have
see
the MP.
2 of these guys, right?
Say again?
We only see 2 of these guys, right? So there may
That's
be
right.
more.
Yep.
I think as I kind of go down the hall, I'm going to pull out my heavy pistol and kind of keep it at just low ready.
Okay. Drawing that heavy pistol. Okay.
Yeah.
And anyone else gonna do anything in here?
Yeah, Amethyst will follow behind with her weapon and the EMP in her pocket. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? What are you gonna do here?
I'm looking back to the rest of the crew. Like, do y'all want to use the grenade or just kind of questioning, eyebrow raise?
That's what we got it for.
I'm just going to shrug and grin at Amethyst and kind of step aside and let her take the lead.
All right, Amethyst.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna go badly for me, isn't it?
So I'm going to give you a choice in this case. Your option.
Okay.
I'm assuming you've prepared for this. You've practiced with this device and looked up the specs because you know that you're not the most muscly type person out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can either roll for act under plus cool or plus meat, depending on how you want to pull this forward. Handle it. And you can take a +1 to whatever your role is because you guys did a bunch of research on this to determine the security threats and determine they were robots. Thanks to your good buddy up there, Glitch Foo.
Okay, let me see what my cool is. I know I don't have points in meat, so
I am fairly certain that every single person in this group has a -1 in meat and is gorgeous.
Yep.
You are the
I
least.
have +0 to cool. Yeah.
So, would you say you'd look like you were worried?
Me? Yeah. She's not really used this before. This is kind of new. Like, yeah, she's researched it, but like
The whole upfront thing is not something that any of you are used to, like, except for maybe Glass.
Right.
And Glass is used to like hiding behind a press badge most of the time.
Well, so Glass is I took the I'm going into mechanics, but whatever. War correspondent.
Okay.
So I can roll for edge instead of cool.
Okay.
When in physical danger.
You are definitely in physical danger. Do you want to tactfully borrow that grenade and use your own edge and see how that goes?
So if Amethyst is stressing out. And
I've been a war reporter. I know how these things work. I swear.
Exactly.
I've seen several people die using this. Here, this is how you. That's not how you're supposed to do that.
something like that, yeah. And yeah.
All right, let's roll.
All
See
right.
what happens.
All right. And I would love it if you were a wonderful MC who would give.
You
the
can certainly take the
group
+1.
The +1.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
believe it. All right.
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
No.
3,
No.
2 edge, +1, 6. Sorry.
All right. So the following happens. All right. So several things happen all at once. The EMP burst goes off, and the two bots, or whatever they are, directly in front of you fall down. Every camera in the building shorts out, and a proximal security alarm goes off. This building and the surrounding environs are protected by the Pope Patrol. You have been designated as a possible hostile invader. Place down your weapons, lie down, and prepare to be judged. Or don't. We'll still find you. We always find you. And people like you. And your friends. And your family. We're the Pope Patrol. Lie down. It'll be easier. And then there's the monologue keeps going over, and it's not like it keeps getting repeated. They have an entire long line of tried and true. It's everything from their reality show, and it's at least,
my.
you guys have seen this before. They have 3 hours of pre-recorded stuff that just keeps going. Things like, if you try and run, you'll just die tired. Or just get judged tired. It's long running. You note that the Mylar figures are down. One of them has fallen and brushed by a counter made of chrome steel, and tears open the arm piece. Some sort of pink, meaty goo starts to flub out from it, and the hand wobbles in the air. It doesn't look like blood. It certainly doesn't look like a robot circuitry. Up from where you are, Seamus, you just lost connection to most of the physical systems of the building, and Pope Patrol is inbound. Slip, this is kind of your dream scenario and kind of your worst nightmare at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You have stuff out there that you might. I mean, this is going head to head with the Pope Patrol in a real scenario, that not just for funsies, is kind of your big deal. Also, there are a bunch of non-combatants all around you, and you still haven't gotten the physical gear, and you're on a time crunch. So, collectively, you guys walk in and take a look. You've negated the threat. There is, just as Seamus described when he did his investigation, there's a solid glass clean room wall debarking the area where you are in the controls and experiment side. The lab terminal is dead thanks to your EMP grenade, so if you want to extract data, Seamus is going to have to do it from the net, from the matrix. But inside, you can see what appears to be a giant ball of meat. Its consistency is very similar to the stuff that's oozing out of the Mylar figure, which has fallen down, one of them that's fallen down in front of you. And you can see the cells dividing and expanding. It's some sort of biological process of vat-grown material. And there are sample containers and a set of controls if you guys want to extract some, or you can take a more direct route. I assume at this point you guys understand you're under a significant time limit. You've bypassed one security option, but the Pope Patrol is inbound and shit's about to go down. Let's move to Seamus. You're up in the sky. You have if you want to get that extra pay, you're going to have to actually extract some data from that network system in front of you. What do you do?
I can spend one of my holds to do that, right?
You cannot. That was hold over the manipulating the system. You are not manipulating a physical system at this point. You're accessing a data node in the matrix. Gonna have to raw dog this, I'm afraid. Breaking into the system. Go ahead.
Okay, that's
I believe in this case your options were Mind, Edge, and Synth, and this is definitely an edge-based scenario that you're looking at. If you can break through the security, do well on this. Now, you do have +1 since you did research in advance and got the appropriate data, or you can spend an intel token. I might recommend that in this case, and bypass the security entirely thanks to the codes and research you've done before.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna spend that token.
All right, you've got 1 intel and 1 gear left, guys. You break down. Give me that. Give me +int. Roll for mining the data.
And when you say int, that's mind, right?
Yep, that's mined. Sorry. Played way too many game systems.
It's fine.
Thanks. Keep me honest. I told you, folks. Keep me on pat.
Another 8.
Okay. That's good enough in this case for you to extract the data, especially with your +1. When you were doing, you have enough stuff here that you're able to grab the data and pull it out. You are going to leave enough fingerprints behind that someone is going to be able to figure out that data was taken, but they're not necessarily going to be able to figure out that it was you because you are a console cowboy and this is your domain.
Can I manipulate the inbound patrol, like throw them off the scent for a minute or two?
How would you prefer to do that?
Like scramble the dispatch so that they go to the wrong address or go to address like an adjacent address.
Hardcore. You're just gonna hammer and hit the local dispatch node and see if you can break in and get it done.
Can I? Yeah, can I spend a hold or do I have to roll?
You are out of hold. You have no hold.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
What I will give you is you can try console. Now you're going to be going to a different location. Do console cowboy for me. That's plus. And then we're going to go into the group. Yep, roll plus mind. Man, you really doubled down on mind. Go ahead.
You're not gonna believe it.
Another 8?
Yep.
All right. Well, at least you're consistent. Making my job easier.
So.
You get 1 hold. All right. So, you're doing okay so far. You get +1 hold. I need you to roll. Let me check one more thing here. Roll plus edge for me. That's +1. This is not something you've done any research or prepared any gear for.
Oh, I got a 13 this time.
All right. So, you own the local Popo Patrol dispatch. You have complete control over them for approximately 4 holds worth of stuff. You can spend one of those to bypass or to manipulate their system and redirect the current dispatch system. You probably won't need all the hold, but it's nice to have. Let's switch back to the rest of our crew who's sitting inside a sparking database, a formerly effective lab, with a bunch of robo meat golems that have been zapped into quiescence on the floor in front of them and the security system. Glass, this is prime expose material. The rest of you are looking at this, and it's definitely your objective. What do you do?
Yeah, I want to first off probably use 1 hold from the notes for the story to gather evidence.
Okay.
Be able to break the story.
Done. You can document this in triplicate if you want to. It's not certainly not against your current
Photographing,
contract.
grabbing some vials that are around.
Okay, you can use the Waldos and the manipulators, and there are even sample cards here. You can play your final gear card if you want to use it to extract and safely extract the material. And
Yeah.
in retention. Okay. You have one intel token left. You guys have what you came for. The Popo are temporarily distracted. Anything else you want to do?
So there was a secondary objective, right?
I believe that Seamus has already accomplished that. He's
Right,
grabbed
correct.
the data off the
Yeah,
net.
Cool.
Your EMP blast made it so you're physically incapable of accomplishing here
Couldn't
at the
get
ground. So it's
anything
good you have a
else
hacker with
here.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone else?
I can't think of anything else to do, so
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
I've pretty much
except
exhausted.
get out of here.
All right. So as you're going out, the classic quote comes up.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Yep. It is best in life. You've completed the mission. You have zapped out. As the camera goes back, sure, you might have blown up the meat golems. Sure, there's some photographic evidence of what's happened. Sure, you may have hacked the local Pope Patrol. But, I mean, you got the data you were going for. No one's really going to be able to tie you to this mission directly. And maybe some local gangland thing is Amethyst on his radar. But, you know, it's not anything you haven't dealt with before, right? So,
Right.
we are done with that section. There is just one thing left for you guys to do if you choose to do so. And that is, there's a move. It's called Get Paid. If you guys want to prepare that, give me just a second here.
Mm-hmm.
And I will add the appropriate music for prepping for this. And we will move on.
I wonder if there's anything on the way out I could do for the poor minimum wage guy who we
I mean, that is kind of
forced
your
into
thing.
quitting. Because that's not the
I mean,
outcome.
your
Glass would have
whole
wanted.
one of your directives is to help people, and if you can,
Yeah.
even if it causes you to maybe risk the mission, might be worth it.
Yeah. Is there any way I could plant some kind of evidence that he valiantly fought off or tried to fight off the this attacking force? Because they know something happened at this point.
I mean, you've one piece of intel. If you want to tell me how you had the material ready available to plant for this sort of thing, I'll let you spend your last token to have it so that you have the resources to make that happen.
All right, if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, blame one of the
Works
big
for me.
corporations we don't like.
No need to screw the wage slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Yeah. You know what? Let me do a 2-for-1 if I can. That was a good point. Yeah. Maybe I had some backup dirt on BBC. Who Glass was tasked to get dirt on. He had something he hadn't delivered yet, so he's not gonna get paid for it for using it here. Man. I'm trying to think of something, but
it's okay. I just need you to tell me how you had the information available. Like, what did you do before in prepping for this mission that gave you the intel required to plant this stuff, to create and plant it?
So when Glass was going over his contacts, doing the research ahead of the mission, I still has some wires into some BBC stuff, and he happened to find something maybe about that. Now he's looking back and recognizing the some of the, maybe a last name on the name tag, and it comes up to him that he's got some information maybe on like this this guy's family or something involved with the BBC, and that could. I'm rambling now. I don't know what to tell you.
That's all right. You've done a bunch of research. You had some background while you were doing other research for the lab and the material, and that's how you came up with it. Well, think about this for future games, guys. Just try and think of little things that you've done in the past that would let you spend these tokens and make it sound appropriate. But Glass has done a great job of setting this mission up. You guys get out. I'm sorry, Slip. There's no car chase.
No.
Except for it turns out that you're caught speeding, and the popo come after you anyway. But Lizzie's just too good. And now the question is, do you guys want to get paid?
I think we do.
I do.
All right, there's a move for that. So the way this works is all those failures that you guys have been making that have been drawing attention, they've reduced you from a +6 down to a +1 to your roll. It's a straight 2d6 +1. Let's see what your roll is.
Do we all roll it?
Nominate someone who wants to roll.
Mm.
And I know nobody wants to roll in this case.
No.
I can do it.
You don't want the guy who just keeps getting 8 everywhere to roll.
Flip.
Oh no, you just
Flip
got a
hasn't had a
13.
car
Right.
chase. Here's his chance. What do we got?
Oh yeah.
Well, much in the tradition of Seamus before us, we have an 8.
Does that include the +1?
No, 9. 9 to include the +1.
All right, same result. Just was
Okay.
curious. All right. All right. 7 and 9. Choose one from the list below. And keep in mind that the things you don't choose are options antithetical that are available to me. It's not a setup or an ambush. You're paid in full. The meeting doesn't attract attention of other parties. The employer is identifiable. You learned something from the mission. Everybody marks experience.
Oh, that's hard.
I made the
Yeah,
roll
right.
you guys pick.
Um,
I've done enough damage for one day.
I mean, I feel that. I feel that 100%. but-
Whatever you're picking is something
don't know.
I can't use against you, and you get as an advantage, is the way to think about it.
Well, I'm thinking
Well-
the worst ones might be doesn't attract attention, or like it's not a setup or an ambush. What do you guys think?
I was gonna say those would probably be Seamus's choices, were I to go with
Yeah.
his. But
I mean, Amethyst is already on the hook for
Yeah,
paying the guy, so
it's not looking good for
getting
me.
paid in full with the extra
That would be good.
would
Yeah.
would
And
guarantee
I should
that
point
we
out that
have
I don't.
something.
All the other ones don't necessarily happen to you. They're just options available to me as the storyteller.
Yep.
But you're thinking paid in full, just so Amethyst
I mean, I'd
doesn't
appreciate
get.
that.
yeah, it's either paid or
Amethyst
full,
makes
I guess,
profit on
so-
this. All right,
I want to save my life. Save my life.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Okay.
Amethyst, mark 3 cred. Everybody else marks 6. I think that takes most people from 5 to 11 cred,
Okay.
which is pretty good because your guy said that you would get paid for this. As you guys drop off the samples and equipment in exchange for payment, everything seems to be going the way you want. As you're walking by, though, Slip, one of the people from Roxy's band of Misfits, I always picture them as like Gem and the Holograms, the Misfits, for some reason. I don't know why. Passes you a picture of a guy that looks a lot like Jacques that says that they've been looking around for Amethyst. And for you too, Slip. Looks like someone might be on someone's radar. You get paid in full. Job is done. Mission complete, ladies and gentlemen. Well played. I'd like each of you to look through your directives and determine whether or not you think you qualified for it during this mission. I can tell you right now that Glass had a compassionate moment there where he saved a poor wage slave's potential reputation. I mean, he still probably quit, but it may not resound as badly to him. So he can mark experience. Each of you needs to mark 5 experience anyway for completing the mission and the optional objectives. You guys familiar with your directives here?
Yeah. I don't think I got
think
either
Seamus
of
did
mine.
anything.
Okay.
I don't know. Does me doing this jock guy wrong count as lying about my identity or my past, or is that just like shady behavior?
I think that's just you being a fixer and doing what fixers do,
Okay.
just fixing
Makes sense.
problems.
I don't think I got any extra either. Okay.
Okay.
No,
Don't
I
have
didn't
to
get
in this case.
famous. There was no car chase for me to get illustrious.
Yeah, wait for episode 2. We got some stuff for you.
So we get 5. Our base is 5 XP, right?
That's right.
All right. And we have 11 cred.
Oh, you have 11 cred. Amethyst only got 8.
Well,
Love it.
And do cleanup. If you guys want to touch base, we'll be meeting again on the 19th to do our next episode, which will be Monster Mayhem. And
okay.
the group will, in preparation for its next mission, have to run an entirely different kind of gambit on an entirely different kind of target. Any questions before we close out today?
I think we're good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Well played, kids.
Well done
Yeah.
to the GM.
Nicely done. And for all the people who say I can't run a one shot, my dear wife, 7 minutes under the timer.
Excellent.
It only took me, and this is only my 3rd try. The first time I ran an hour over. Lest my infallibility seem all purpose. Thank you for Knights of the Braille, Jim in particular, and Richard, who have behind the scenes done a ton of editing, including those commercials and the Mac Dash work. I could not have made that happen without them. Thanks to my crew, Kevin, Beth, and Alex, who play tested this the first time and proved to me that the hacker rules need to be entirely revamped for everyone's satisfaction. And to the team at UTAC, Pat, Crispy Chicken, and Ghost Element, and my wife, again, for playing various characters through the system. It's as good as this looks now. It's only because other people helped me find the failures when no one was watching and putting it on YouTube. I'm Blind Fury, your GM for today. Everyone want to give me a round signing off? Let's start with Danny.
Sure.
Amethyst.
I had a great
/
time.
Sapphire.
Yeah, exactly. All those things. I'm Danny Marie AUC. Everywhere you can find me on just about all the social medias, including here on Twitch. And we're gonna have a good time next week. I feel like, or not next week, the 19th. The 19th. Sorry.
19th, that's right.
Yes, the 19th.
The man who showed up in costume himself, Glass, the reporter. Signing off.
Yep. I'm a mostly blind gamer on Twitch, Discord, Reddit, at Blind Mostly on Twitter. I tell computers to set things on fire for a living, and I complain on the internet about accessibility as a side gig. And enjoy TTRPGs. So yeah, I'll see everybody again on the 19th.
Sweet. How about our hacker, Glitch Foo, who absolutely owned every computer system he ran into today? Did not even have to pull out the motorcycle or the armored refrigerator once.
Yeah, I know.
Let alone the flechette pistol.
I'm itching to have that refrigerator block some bullets. I'm Steven, S_Luttrell on Twitter, LUTTRELL, and everywhere else, SK Luttrell. I'm not usually on social media that much, so don't expect me to do anything there, but yeah, there you go.
Okay, and at last, but certainly not least, Slip, Babylon Hillbilly, our and Lizzie.
I am Zach, Babylon Hillbilly on Discord, the internet's very own social media Twitterless gray man. I have none of the fancy things, and it was awesome. Thanks everybody. It was a super ton of fun, more fun than I could have possibly hoped for. And
well, you're in for a treat next game.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And
Center stage.
Thanks a
Center
bunch.
stage.
And we will catch you next time.
All right. And Jim, our Knights of the Braille, the guy who's been running everything behind the scenes because I can't. You want to sign off for us? All right, Monster Mayhem. I'm going to turn us off, turn the music up, and close us out. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.